We are live.
All right, everybody, make sure they can hear us.
Yes. Are we here for real all the way?
Testes. 1, 2, 3.
What's going on?
Spectacles, testicles, wallet, and watch.
Yes.
Oh, it didn't play. There we go. There's that. Hold on here.
Because I keep it close.
Yeah.
She's getting set up. Hold on.
I'm making sure that I can watch the chat and everything.
And we do have sound.
Yes, we have sound because my phone just messed up. Thanks.
Oh, the phone messed up?
Yes, the phone messed up. Not me.
There is sound.
Well, welcome back to the Nerdery. I am JD.
Patty.
And Jimmy.
And tonight we are talking about reboots and remakes. Ones that have happened in the past, some that are upcoming.
Yeah.
Some that deserve it.
Some that probably don't.
No. Or just
Some that are getting rebooted
fixed.
that definitely don't.
And as always, we are brought to you. Are we ready?
Oh, yeah.
By Captain Jack's Elixirs at www.captainjackselixirs.com. And also All Star Comics in Baytown, Texas, 281-839-7127.
Yeah.
Woo!
So, there's been a whole lot of stuff actually already rebooted several times.
Yeah.
I think the most notorious would have to be Fantastic Four.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, you can't count the actual first film because it wasn't legitimately put out as a film.
True, that was an ash can. For
But
those of you,
happened.
it did happen, and it did get out. You can actually watch it here on YouTube for free because it was unreleased.
I would say it was better than Fantastic Four 2. Probably,
The Silver
definitely
Surfer
better.
one?
Yeah.
Really?
Well,
I didn't hate it.
I didn't like Dr. Doom being involved.
Oh, okay.
And Galactus was a total letdown.
A space cloud?
It was a total letdown.
Yeah.
All you get to see is maybe like a silhouette of his head. Maybe.
I didn't even see that.
Yeah, when they're flying up into the cloud.
Yeah.
And you see kind of like this light, and then you see the silhouette of Galactus' head, and that was about it.
I didn't even catch that.
There was no interaction. I mean, well, I guess Galactus being a being of immense size, he's not really going to interact with people.
Yeah.
You know, or ants to him, so.
The fan.
Uh-oh.
Having fan issues.
I gotta flick a switch.
There
It's
you
done.
go.
I will sweat.
Oh my god.
As will I. I was already warm.
I was cold, so I should be good. I'm always cold. Always. It's just given now.
But, you know, the first Fantastic Four film was an ash can. It was strictly made to retain their rights.
I've heard rumor that the last Hellraiser installment was also like that. It was just to hold on to the rights. Because it was a pile of shit. Sorry, not sorry. It was a pile of shit.
And we are watching a reboot
Yeah.
Yes.
tonight. We're watching Dredd.
One of the most awesome reboots.
I was gonna say,
I've
I
ever
didn't
seen.
hate this one either.
I'll put this one side by side with Punisher Warzone.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
when it came to picking the film for the background tonight, it was a real hard choice between those two.
Man, no, and you know what's funny? Both of them were made by this company.
Lionsgate.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was before the rights reverted back.
Yeah. And Punisher Warzone, I think, was probably my favorite. Out of all the Punisher movies, they're all good.
Oh, yeah.
I like the use of practical effects. Punisher Warzone, they kind of strayed away from it a little bit, but there was enough in there to really...
Well, that was based off the Marvel Knights.
Yeah.
Punisher.
And, well, no, I would say Warzone was based more along the lines of his first 5-issue mini, with Jigsaw and having to deal with that. The Thomas Jane was taken more from the Marvel Knights Punisher.
Okay.
And that was a good one, but it didn't really follow the death of his family the way the comics did it. So.
Well, I didn't like how they focused so heavily on the death of his family. I mean, don't get me wrong, that's a crucial part of the story, but it shouldn't be half the film.
This is true. So, in that respect, what do you think of the... got some thingy hanging.
Get a hair. Sorry, it was
In
going to
that
drive me
respect-
nuts.
I blame giggles.
That was a little short one. Like your head hairs.
Oh, well, it might have been mine.
In that respect, what do you think of?
Then you should have given it back because
No.
I would
stop.
think it's heritage.
I know. Right?
I'm gonna stop. See, I get interrupted all the time. It's okay.
Continue.
So what do you think of the Punisher in Daredevil and the Daredevil series? What do you think of Bernthal?
I do really enjoy Bernthal. I want to thank Bernthal for his performance, but more importantly, I want to thank the lonely guy at the comic book store that Bernthal visited to prepare for the role, because apparently Bernthal had a stack of the absolute wrong comics to prepare for that role, and the guy
No.
threw away a stack. You don't need this. You 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 need this. Dude, I know who you are and I know what you're doing. Don't fuck this up.
That's great. But yeah, it's one of those things, man. It's I think now it's really cool to see some of this stuff coming back and being remade, and because you have the people who were growing up, who are influenced by these characters, who are influenced by these movies, and in their minds, they're thinking, hey, we could do this better. We could make this something, that people will be drawn to.
Well, see, the last time we did an episode on upcoming reboots, it was actually triggered by the news of Reboot getting a reboot.
Oh, yeah. Of which I still haven't seen anything about.
I haven't either. It's all but vanished, which is heavily disappointing because I loved that show growing up.
I did too. I watched it every Saturday morning.
I just don't understand why they keep doing it. It's not like they've run out of ideas.
I think that's exactly why they do it.
I don't get it.
I will quote Yogurt from Spaceballs. We'll all see each other again in Spaceballs 2, The Search for More Money.
Yeah.
So there you go.
That's a perfectly good explanation.
It's so frustrating for me because, yes, you can be inspired by these movies that you loved growing up and everything, but be inspired to create something new and different and exciting. Don't take the same ass story and just redo
because
it.
you liked that story because it was new and exciting at the time.
Yeah.
That's what was good about the
I
story.
personally get upset when there's remakes and reboots. Even if it's better.
Well, there's a bunch of stuff getting rebooted right now, and some of this stuff has been rumored for years and years and years. Like Voltron getting a reboot. Mm-hmm. That was 20 years in the making of rumors to actually getting a Voltron reboot.
Yeah.
And I haven't watched season 2. I know it's out on Netflix now.
You're talking about season 3, I think, just dropped.
Did it?
You need to catch up, brother.
Yeah, I'm way behind. I watched season 1 and I loved it. A lot of things are changed, definitely.
Yeah.
But I really do like it. I'm enjoying it. But The Mummy's getting a reboot.
Didn't that just come out?
Yeah, it just came out.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
Aladdin.
Yeah, I saw that. Aladdin is getting a reboot. A live-action reboot.
An American Werewolf in London.
Yes. The Aladdin one is basically following the success of Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, yeah, because they just did that one, too.
They're going to start doing all the...
They're going to start doing all the Disney classics. They're going to start doing them in live action.
Because they need another, multi-million dollars from those stories.
Well, it sends a resurgence in the popularity of that entire
I
franchise.
mean, the one cool thing about that franchise is that it's something that was cool to us as kids.
Yeah.
And now that we have daughters,
yeah,
our old cartoons aren't as cool to them because they're into more live action,
that's
exciting
true, I
shit
guess.
going on. So now we can watch them with our kids and
well,
bond over our old stories that we grew up with.
We sat down and watched Beauty and the Beast, and it is really close to frame by frame identical to the original animated.
Like that.
Yeah. So I'm expecting they're going to do the same thing with Aladdin.
What's going on in the chat?
Patty will like this one, The Birds.
Oh,
remade
God.
again.
I'm sorry. I love classics. And so, a few years ago, I sat down and tried to watch The Birds because I've heard so much about it.
I was gonna say, I don't think that was a very good one.
I hated that movie.
So I don't know why you would remake movies over and over if it was never
hated it. But it's a classic, and it's a cult classic.
Yeah, and you got to remember it's Alfred Hitchcock. He's
Yeah.
he's not a master of horror. He's a master of suspense.
Yeah. But that movie was not suspenseful for me at all. I just disliked all of it.
What, not even when you see the guy's eyes pecked out.
No.
And all that crap? No.
No.
Okay.
Where's the
let's see
suspense in
here.
that?
They're rebooting
It's gonna happen now.
Narnia.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
Too soon. Too soon.
Well, their first powerful franchise fizzled out.
Yeah.
So, well, that's what happens when you make the movies out of order.
Yeah.
So,
Let's
I
start
kinda
out
saw
with a
that
strong
failing.
story and finish with the weak one.
yeah.
They've got Bloodsport.
Yes, Bloodsport, Escape from New York, The Crow is getting rebooted.
I heard that a long time ago, but I never saw anything about it.
The Craft.
The Craft.
No.
Oh, see, all these make me sad.
Who's gonna fuck with that? Who are they putting in it?
Wait a minute. This is one that I don't think really had much to be made in the first place.
Don't have it-
Hang on. That was what the poster said. Hang on.
Hang on.
Cliffhanger
Yeah.
What?
is getting rebooted.
Man, there
Creature
were-
from the Black Lagoon.
Mm-hmm. Overboard. I don't make these things up. I've got a list here.
another Kurt
Dune?
Russell classic.
Dune.
Yeah.
Dune again.
Yep.
Dungeons and Dragons. They're gonna try that one again.
Scarface.
I think they should stay away from D&D.
This is one that I'm particularly excited about. Flight of the Navigator.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that was a absolute special effects marvel when it came out.
Mind blowing.
I would love to see what they could do with that now.
That was an
You saw
awesome
the
show.
Fantastic Voyage.
Yes. That's
Well,
on
like
The
the
here.
song.
other one was like a 1966 like sci-fi,
Yeah.
where it looked like they were going through like blood cells and shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tomb Raider, The Neverending Story. Once again, finally proving that it never ends.
All of this makes me so depressed.
Drop Dead Fred.
I love Drop Dead
Oh,
Fred.
that's a great
Flash
movie.
Gordon.
Yes. Yes. I've heard things.
Guy from Kingsman 2 is doing it. Or the Kingsman.
Yes.
So that might be good.
I
I really like the Kingsman.
This has already gotten approval from certain individuals involved in the original project, so I'm excited for it.
All right.
Starship Troopers.
Reboot.
Yeah. I don't even think you'd have to reboot that. I think you could run a continuance on that.
They've
They already have 3 of
Yeah,
them,
they've
don't
got
they?
3 or 4, and then they've got a couple of CG animateds that came out. I think there's one coming out. Rebooting it, I think if they add the power armor into it, a lot of people's disappointment with the originals. They didn't have the power armor until you got into like maybe the 3rd one, but it was cheesy.
Yeah.
The animateds that are coming out of Japan, like the CG animated ones, go into it, and it looks amazing. I want to see them do that live action. I think they've got the tech to do it now.
Yeah.
You know, mid to late 90s for the original.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And that was, back then, that was pre-Matrix. You didn't have all the effects that you had following the Matrix. So, I think it'll be amazing.
Weird Science.
What are people saying?
People, let's see here.
I can't read it. It's very small.
It's okay. I'm sorry, I have it set small. Let's see here. Kendall was pissed off about The Crow and the Craft. Then Anna said that Starship
The
Troopers could do
Crow.
with a reboot. And she says, if I recall correctly, Starship Troopers got way far away from the novel.
Yeah.
And then that you had just said something that she was about to write. Keith says The Matrix is getting a reboot as well.
Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Again?
Yep.
They've made like 3 reboots. Ugh.
I like the one with Leonard Nimoy and
Yes.
Donald Sutherland.
Yes,
That one
I
was
like
really
that one.
good.
League of
I
Extraordinary
just reviewed that
Gentlemen.
one not that long ago.
Whoa!
Now,
Be careful with that.
They're not being careful with any of this.
No.
This sounds like a lot of ham-handed. We need to grab money.
Yeah.
Now.
who was the publisher of the League? Was that Vertigo?
I believe so, but I know what was that? That was Alan Moore, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which means it literally could have been published by anybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
Except for, he didn't work for Marvel.
He did a lot of Vertigo.
He did a lot of
things under
Vertigo, yeah.
So I would say that Vertigo is probably the publisher.
Now, here's the cool thing about Vertigo properties is because it's not directly under DC, I mean, they are a division of DC, but they don't have the same partnership with Warner Brothers that DC Comics do.
Right.
So a lot of those properties, they get put out on a case-by-case contract, so you can make any Vertigo property a true art film.
Yeah.
And League of Extraordinary Gentlemen is a perfect example of what should be done with that.
They're going to bring a more female-centric take onto the material. So it's going to be... I don't know how that one's going to work with the...
Gentlemen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
League of Extraordinary Gentlewomen.
Right.
Anyway.
Anna says, "Oh my God, if Body Snatchers can retain the Nimoy Sutherland power couple, I'd watch it." Meaning retaining the effect of. I know Nimoy is
Power
deceased.
couple. I like that.
Yeah.
Power couple.
The power couple.
Little
like it.
Shop of Horrors.
Oh.
Really?
Flatliners.
It's already.
That's too
I heard
classic.
about that one recently.
Police Academy.
Oh, man.
Major League.
That one I'm really sensitive on because Uke is gone.
I'm sensitive on all these.
Exactly. This is a depressing show.
Masters of the Universe.
I'm not
I
happy.
feel
Yeah,
like
here
the
we
only
are.
ones I'm not mad about are the ones that I never saw.
Like jumping feet first into quicksand. We're already up to our necks and there's no way out.
Now here's one I'm
Shit.
really excited about. I've been excited about this ever since I heard that they were trying to reboot it. But now it is starting to get a lot more steam and a lot more coverage, so I'm a lot more hopeful than I used to be. But Logan's Run.
Just saw that.
I love the original.
Yeah.
And I do know the last person that got attached to it had actually approached Michael York to have him play the old man,
Yeah.
which I just that's gonna be hilarious. Michael
I think
York,
because I like the
overdramatic.
old movies that I don't want them remade. I like them the way they were.
I feel like they're doing all the 60s right now because now we got Pet Cemetery.
Oh.
We've got every
No.
single awesome movie that came out in the 60s, 70s, and 80s that's being remade this year or next year.
Well, I know a lot of loyalists were very upset at the original Logan's Run. I know that came out like back in the 70s. But a lot of people were upset because it was so far away from the novel, because the original novel occurred in space, because
Yeah.
Earth was uninhabitable. So, but they didn't have the budget to do that.
I think they pulled it off for what it was.
Oh, definitely. Can I get one of those?
Hit.
You hear Police Academy.
Yes.
Yeah, he just said that.
Okay, by Key and Pill.
That should be interesting.
That's who's doing it.
Alright.
They're funny sometimes.
Here's one that I think
Sometimes.
Here's one that I believe that could be rebooted at least once every 15 to 20 years, just because of how the world changes.
No,
Wargames.
yeah. Yeah.
I think that one
That's due for a reboot.
definitely way overdue for a
technology-
I like how they
we
keep
have.
redoing Death Race or whatever it is.
Yeah, but Death Race.
I like that one.
Dystopian is dystopian.
Yeah.
You can only kick that dead horse so many times.
Could you tell someone else that? Because nobody seems to
Which
realize
one are
it.
we talking about, Patty?
I like the crazy one that just came out.
Oh, okay.
I think a couple of years ago, maybe.
Well,
If that, maybe a year ago.
Yeah, that was harking back to the original Death Race 2000, which had David Carradine and I think it even had Sylvester Stallone in it. That was in his early days of film.
This one was
so-
cheesy as hell.
Yeah, and that one was
And
too.
amazing.
But yeah,
Campy.
Yes,
that
very
was,
campy.
That
I
was
like
the
that
original
one.
Death Race. It was all about camp, and you had like point values for people. They go down the highway
Yeah.
and they show like a senior citizen home and they're rolling people out into the streets to be hit.
Yes.
Because it's
Wow.
point values.
You got Roadhouse and Shaft.
Roadhouse has been bouncing around for a while. It's actually been bouncing around for a long time before it's actually hit public eye. Back prior to Swayze's death, they were talking about rebooting it.
Damn.
Anna says we need another Wargames. Everyone forgot the message from the film.
Right?
Short Circuit.
Short Circuit. Once again, that's something that
Johnny Five.
it is so time. place in its time, you could reboot that every 15 or 20 years.
As long as that was like a Johnny 7 or 8 or something. Like
Yeah.
if they did a new,
later on
more
along the
advanced,
line.
because now technology has improved.
Yeah.
I could accept
It's not
that.
made out of old VCRs.
Yeah.
Come on, that was amazing.
Hey, laser lips, your mama was a
I mean, like
snowblower.
they had the BB-8, like
Yeah.
it's different than the original.
Yeah.
This one should make Jimmy happy.
Stargate?
Alien Nation.
Yeah, because I grew up watching that too.
Yeah.
And that was
Is that
The one with the alien cop.
it was
with
a
the human?
I
detective.
think I
it was
know
a
which one that
detective
one
show.
is. Didn't they have like weird
They had
No, he had the like giant liver spots.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, okay, yes. That's
All
what
the
I
way
was
down their
thinking
back.
of.
Yeah,
I like that one.
yeah, it was a good show.
Something that definitely doesn't need to be rebooted and should have never been made in the first place. Disney's The Black Hole.
I never saw it.
I watched it. I had a friend that actually worked in the Disney Vault. And a friend of mine was a huge fan of that movie. He had to have it. So I hit up my friend, hey, is there any way I can get a copy of this? Yeah, and before I told my friend I had it, I was like, I gotta watch it. And I sat down and watched it. Oh my God. It was such a weird flick, even for then.
I had wallpaper as a kid based on that movie. It had the black hole, it had the ship and everything. It was just repeated all over the freaking wall.
It was campy for its time.
I think it deserves a reboot because I think the concept was cool. It could be a better film, and if they pull it off, well, hey.
Hey, you know what? Yeah, you're right, Jimmy. You're right. It did have a great concept. It did have a great story. It's just, even for its time, it was a very poor execution.
Well, I think that one that one had some difficulties in production. So
It shows.
Toxic Avenger.
Yes.
And they're talking about I'm reading right here that Arnold Schwarzenegger is supposed to be playing in it.
What the
But
hell?
He's at the moment he's left it in limbo because he went and did the Terminator Genesis.
Yeah.
okay.
But they've also got who is it? Somebody from the Steve Pink from Hot Tub Time Machine.
No clue.
I don't know which one that was.
So is this is not going to be Trauma though, is it?
Doesn't say if it's trauma or not.
I loved those movies when I was a teen.
But I couldn't see Arnie
No.
in one of those.
Yeah.
Then you got the Warriors.
The Warrior.
The
See,
guy
all
that
of this
did
is
Crank
sad to me.
is doing this one. And then White Men Can't Jump.
Oh, God.
Arnold is no longer attached to the Toxic Avenger.
Okay.
He has been completely removed from that.
You got Stargate, The Wild Bunch, Zorro.
I don't know why we're doing this show. I really don't. This is
I'm
causing
so
a lot of inner
sad.
turmoil for me.
Well,
There's
the
a
curious
reason why
thing...
those films are awesome.
Yes,
Because
exactly.
they are timeless.
Time
It's the
Cop.
way they are.
Time Cop.
Time Cop.
Well, I'm really intrigued by this whole Toxic Avenger thing. I have been since I first caught wind of it because of somebody that we know.
Yeah.
And I'm very curious on if they are attached to this film. Now, I definitely don't want to say their name or anything of that nature because I do not want to jeopardize that.
I don't know. I really don't know because the way it was described, I don't think you'd want to.
I don't think so either. But I hope.
You're so optimistic. Me and Jimmy are like, oh, God. And you're like, well, maybe it'd be good. Maybe. There's potential.
JD will give anything a chance. Man.
I can try everything at least once.
Me, I'm just pissed off about everything. He can't see you.
He's busy.
Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Which that one's been bouncing around for probably about the last 5 years.
Aren't the original ones going to be in it, though?
That's the
I
rumor.
caught wind that it was going to be...
It's gonna. I've heard several rumors about it, but one of them specifically was it's gonna be their kids,
Oh. Great.
and they're gonna be in it, and
in that capacity.
Yeah.
Anna says, I'm on the same page as JD. The glass is half full, motherfuckers. I'm like, no.
All right.
These are horrible.
The Highlander.
But I love the Highlander. Just the way it was.
I think that franchise needs a reboot, but let's skip the second one.
Yeah, the second one, The Quickening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fucking weird.
That was weird. It was very weird.
Are they going to get Connery back?
Oh, God.
Because he was in the third one, wasn't he?
I'm thinking.
No, he came back in the second
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
The Quickening.
He shouldn't have.
I will say, how they brought him back in the second one was hilarious. He traded an earring for an entirely new suit.
Oh, my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. It was at that Shakespearean play that they were doing. He just
Yeah.
popped into existence there.
Yeah.
It was like, yeah, it's in the future, and there are no more Highlanders except for, Mr. McLeod, and then these other guys start showing up, and it's like, wait, I thought there were no more Highlanders.
Oh, no. Turns out it's not this ancient thing, gene,
No,
and
they're
it happens. They're from space.
They're aliens.
Yeah.
hell?
Yeah, it was fucking weird.
Yeah.
You know, there was a spin-off show that I never knew about that I just discovered last month.
Raven.
Yes!
Yes.
See, he knew what I was talking about.
Yes.
That's
I had
just-
no idea.
I used to watch the show a lot when I was a kid.
That was a Highlander spinoff?
Yeah, she was a Highlander.
Well, she showed up in the Highlander show, and then they decided to make a
Yeah.
spin-off, but it only lasted like a season or two.
It's
Oh,
on
wow.
streaming right now.
Yeah.
That's how I discovered
Is
it.
that like the Highlanders version of Birds of Prey? That whole DC show?
Birds of Prey had some really good acting,
It did?
but the effects were... The effects budget just wasn't there.
Yep.
And it was this early CW DC show.
I think DC really jumped the gun on that
See?
series.
Now
Ha!
Derek found one.
Ha!
What is it? Tell
What'd
us.
you get?
I'm reading up on Puppet Master.
Oh, those went to shit.
What are
This
they up
one's
to,
going to be
like
even
20?
worse. The Puppet
Something
Master
like
remake will be getting more of a comedy vibe as of Reno 911.
What?
What? Oh,
That's what I'm
gonna go home depressed as hell tonight.
I don't. Thomas Lennon heads up the cast that includes John.
It was already funny.
Genre's Queen Barbera.
You hear
Just
that,
the
baby?
right kind
Thomas
of funny.
Lennon is going to be in the next
He's
Puppet
gonna
Master
ruin
film.
the next Puppet Master
Ruin
film.
it? I don't know. Thomas Lennon's pretty funny. And he's been in a couple of superhero films as well.
I've got a franchise for you that's getting a reboot that... Number one, it should have just stopped at the first movie. It shouldn't have been a whole franchise to begin with, much less deserve a reboot. House Party. That was Jimmy's face.
It was okay up until about 2. I mean, it was funny. There were funny moments. I like Bernie Mac being in it. He played the crazy uncle. That was awesome. But once it got past 2, and then I think maybe like 5 or 6 years ago there was another one. So there's like 4 of those already out.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say this is going to be a reboot. This is just going to be a continuation using the same name.
Probably.
Kid and Play will show up.
Now we got the Naked Gun.
Ooh.
What was it? Ed Helms is going to be playing a relative of Leslie Nielsen's peerless LT Frank Driven.
Driven. Sorry, Driven.
It's been a while since I've seen it.
Oh, man.
I don't know if there's room in modern cinema for those slapstick style,
They already have
satirical
Scary
comedies.
Movie and stuff.
which
A
they've
100 of those.
which
and-
they've pretty much killed that pocket of the
Hey,
industry out.
Did OJ get acquitted of his shit?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so he's out.
He's out.
Hey,
So
OJ
he could
come back.
be in it.
He could come back.
Start off with his Derringer again.
Yeah. He could come back.
The Invisible Man. Well, that's something that outside of Hollow Man.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the classic horror tales that. And it wasn't even a horror tale.
Sort of.
It was more of a metaphorical take
Yeah.
on society at that time for a black man in the 40s.
Well, sometimes that can be
Hollow
horror.
Man?
No, The Invisible Man.
Oh, okay.
The original
I was like,
novel.
wait a minute here.
I read it.
Horror doesn't necessarily have to instill fear. I mean, it can be the horrors of
Society.
the horrors. Yeah, examining
Like your
society and
Eternal
how
Sunshine.
horrific it was.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's not technically,
A horror film.
but it
but
can be.
yeah,
For the
you
right
just have to
person.
look at it right.
Since we got on that whole Disney train earlier, Dumbo and The Little Mermaid.
Lion King.
And Lion King, yes.
No,
No.
it's not working.
Mortal
for me.
Kombat.
They've been bouncing that around now for about 6 years since that unauthorized reboot teaser got made, which actually brought about Mortal Kombat Legacy.
That actually, yeah, and that made it to at least the DVD,
Yes.
Blu-ray.
It went 2 full seasons
Yeah,
of webisodes.
2.
2 full.
Damn.
Now, keep in mind, it is a web series, so they are very short episodes, and there's not very many of them in a season. I think it's 10.
Yeah.
And I think they're about 20 minutes.
Anna says she has Mortal
Yeah.
Kombat Legacy on
That's
DVD.
good.
It is incredible. If you haven't watched that, I highly recommend it if you're a Mortal Kombat fan.
I mean, it delves into like Scorpion and Sub-Zero's relationship and how they hate each other, and how that hate was manipulated.
Yeah.
So it's really cool. They go into the mythos of the characters. They don't try to stray away from it, and it's not all about fights and effects. It's about telling the
Raiden
story.
was one of my favorite
That was a good
episodes.
story. That was a good fight, or not fight, but good story.
Yeah. Yeah, there wasn't much fighting in it.
No.
The Fly.
Conan.
Which one?
Legend of Conan.
Yes.
Again? Didn't
Again.
they just make
it's not
Conan?
going to be a remake.
They're going to be a continuance.
It's a continuance where Arnold's going to be an old man.
Good.
Oh.
Yeah, that.
It's
Remember
I
gonna be
like
old
that.
Man Logan
King
type
Conan.
thing. But they're bringing Arnold's going to be playing in it. He was.
Yeah, that'd be the only thing they could root it off of.
King Conan.
Yeah. That's going to be good.
Yeah.
The Fly.
Enough talk.
I love Goldblum.
I do too.
I love Goldblum.
I think I was talking to Derek like
Vincent
a
Price
couple
was
of
great.
weeks ago, And-
You're weird.
and I was like, I said something about Jeff Goldblum being sexy as hell.
Yeah.
And he's like, ew! I'm like, I can't help it. He's sexy as
Yeah, he
hell.
is.
I'm like,
It's
He's
a.
weird and he's
Well, there it is.
smart.
Kind of John Stamos, but smarter.
The Fly turns 31 on Tuesday.
Yeah.
There you go.
I think Jeff Goldblum.
Oh, the Jeff Goldblum version? Because the original
To me.
was Vincent
Because he's
Price.
smart.
Yeah, that might be it.
It's
The
same
master
kind
of creepy voice.
Bad boy look. I don't know.
Vincent Price was in the original
Yes.
The Fly.
Yes, he was.
Memento.
Memento.
You can't remake Memento.
He forgot.
Ah.
You totally remember
Just still
Memento.
going. Just still killing people. Jesus. He had laser tattoo removal and started
Kendall
all over.
agreed that Jeff Goldblum is totally hot.
Yeah. I've never met
So
a chick
weird.
That disagrees.
You know,
know.
he's doing ads for an apartment locator service now.
He does a lot of weird things.
I've seen those ads.
I've seen him on a billboard.
His best film to me it will always be Holy Man.
You know, I never actually watched that one all the way through. That was the one with
Highly
Eddie Murphy,
recommend it.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Highly recommend it. That's the one. The my solution for the fear of flying. That's what it came from. Was Holy Man. You've never heard me tell somebody how to get over the fear of flying?
No.
When you're in the flight and you're afraid, just take a testicle in each hand and pop them together.
That's where that came from.
We're on the plane.
I just couldn't sleep, which made me upset because I hadn't slept.
I love flying. I absolutely love it.
I went there once and I loved it.
What?
Jacob's Ladder.
I saw that on the list, but I don't know anything about it.
It's an old Tim Robbins horror
Yeah.
movie.
Okay.
It's more Patty's alley.
There you go.
Or how do y'all feel about the Jumanji?
I didn't see it.
Now the
so-
trailer looks really good. I
Yeah.
like the concept. It's not a board game
It
anymore.
did
It's a
look
video
better than I
game.
thought it would.
And
Yeah.
these kids are gonna play it, and they get sucked into the video game, but
And
they're stuck
changes.
playing
Yeah.
characters in the video game.
At the beginning of the trailer, when I realized what it was, I got mad. And then I
And then you
saw
saw
their
it, and you were
characters
like,
in the
"Oh my
game,
God,
and I
this
was
is gonna be
like,
hilarious."
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
going to be better than the
It's like,
first
you,
one.
you got an awesome cast.
I'm
It is a
Jack
great
Black,
cast.
Dwayne Johnson, who
Karen
else?
Gillan.
And
Yeah.
then Jack Black being a girl, like that.
Yeah.
It was great. That looks hilarious.
He's a good character actor. I liked him in Tropic Thunder. It was freaking hilarious.
I watched Mars Attacks last night.
Oh
and I
God,
had
yeah,
Jack
he was
Black
in there. Yeah.
Yes. I don't know how they. I even tweeted about it. I was like, how did they get so many of these actors in this movie?
Because it was Mars
I don't think I've
Attacks.
seen Mars Attacks in like 15 years.
It's on. It's on streaming. So, I
love that movie so fucking much.
I made Lily watch it. She was not impressed. She was so annoyed because I'm like, watch this part. Watch this part. She's like, and I'm watching them. And continue with what she was doing. I'm like, damn it.
I don't have time for your old movies, Mom.
Yes. She likes some of them, but that one not so much. But that movie still will give me nightmares. I can watch anything, but that one, something about those alien guys, gives me nightmares. Yeah, like, just all of it. I don't even know. Yes. To me, it always sounds like they're saying red rum, like on fucking The Shining.
It does kind of sound like the Red Rum.
See?
How
It's the
many
same
John
like
Wayne
accent.
fans
What about John Wayne?
The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance.
Oh wow.
That should be good.
Hannah's got a
The guy
point.
who
It was
did,
like
Departed
95.
And The Town.
The actors weren't as well known.
Yeah.
I liked both of those movies.
Something else that's getting a reboot. I've withheld information from you, Jimmy.
Oh, how dare you?
Uh-oh.
Dredd is getting a television series.
Confirmed?
Judge Dredd,
Confirmed.
Mega City 1, and confirmed.
And
Carl Urban is in talks to join the cast.
he needs to, because this is amazing.
And-
what we're watching is the
This is
most amazing rendition of Judge Dredd I have ever seen. He's spot on.
And he did a ton of research just on facial expression below the eyes. So he could act without his eyes.
Yep.
Because he never removes his helmet.
Yep.
Just like in the comics.
Carl Urban, please?
Yes.
I don't know
Yes,
what that
please.
means.
Carl Urban. He played as
That we're
Judge
just
Dredd.
talking
okay.
about it right
He's
now.
also.
I was dripping. I wasn't paying attention.
I don't know if you've.
It's the dude from the Dredd.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if you've watched the new Star Trek films, but
No.
he plays McCoy
Okay.
in the new Star Trek films.
Yes!
Yeah, an amazing Leonard McCoy.
He's also worked side by side with Vin Diesel in the Chronicles of Riddick.
Yes, yes, he has.
I liked those movies.
There was another one I saw him in where he was playing a cop or a FBI
Red.
agent. Red, that's right.
He was a
playing-
CIA agent.
He was the guy chasing him down.
Kordeski trained you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I trained Kordeski.
So we got Rebel Wilson, Anne Hathaway, and Jack Schaefer playing in the new Dirty Rotten Scoundrels.
That
I love Rebel
that
Wilson.
I could see, because I like the original, but I could see something like that being remade. It's not as gimmicky. You know, you're not just selling it by the title. Well, you kind of are, but I want to
kind of
see
the point of
I want to
the
see a different take on it. I want to see somebody do something else because the concept is very open. You know, you got two people who are scheming everyone, and then you got it's.
I feel like it's
It's an
actually really
interesting idea.
risky to do a remake or a reboot because sometimes they go really well and they make a bunch of money, but they usually don't make as much as the original.
Yeah.
And most of
Case
the
in
time,
point.
everybody's mad that you did it. So it is
No,
pretty risky to put money into that.
I got to be honest with you on this one. Okay, the reason it didn't make any money was
They
because
had zero promotion.
it was the 3D gimmick for me. I saw ads for it before it came out, but it was advertised as Dredd 3D, and I was like, oh shit, really?
Yeah.
And I never watched it because it was like, oh, this is just going to be another gimmick film, and it's absolutely magnificent. I
think
wished
we
I
ended
had
up
seen
buying
it in 3D.
this without seeing it first. We're
Really?
just like, yeah, we'll
we'll
try
give it
that
a
one
shot.
out.
And then you're like, holy shit, this is awesome.
Exactly. Then I'm like, oh wait, this is alright.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. The drug scenes would have been great 3D.
Oh yeah. You know how many,
Oh, yeah.
Do you know how many people I've heard say that they wish they had some slow mo?
Ah.
I think Drew told me that one time. And he was like, dude, I wish I could
I could
have
see
some
it from him.
slow-mo." I was like, that would be horrible.
Especially in his hands.
Yeah, that would be horrible.
Yeah.
We could just go
I
take
don't
him
think
out.
I would enjoy that.
If you could give him a year supply, it'd be gone in a
I
week.
think I'm too old for it. I would have
Probably. You'd OD on that shit.
I would do
just-
some stupid shit on that.
But you just, get them all liquored up at Carlos
that's
Beer
kind of what
Garden
drugs
again,
do.
and then have him take some slow mo and
Yeah,
just
usually.
watch the fun ensue. It'll be great.
Yeah, just make sure your cars aren't in the same parking lot as his.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Make sure Castleberry's there to do
Oh yeah, he was good.
a test.
He did his job there. That was fun.
Nerdery in no way condones taking slow-mo.
No.
Not at all.
Find it on
We
the
don't
street.
condone doing drugs.
No. Drugs are
Did
bad.
you say Inspector Gadget?
Is that
They-
a thing?
They just
Again?
redid that recently,
They did-
within
they-
the past,
well,
like, what?
10
That was like
years.
Yeah.
10, 15 years
Yeah.
ago.
And that was a bad.
That's not recent.
Matthew
Yeah.
Broderick.
Yeah.
I know.
So hey, Inspector Gadget, 100% less Matthew Broderick.
Right. It was streaming recently. I
I
think
didn't
I
watch
watched it.
I like Matthew Broderick.
I think I
I like him too.
I like the original cartoon too much to watch it,
Yeah.
so I
Yeah.
just didn't.
What put a bad taste in my mouth was Godzilla. And him in that film. And the funniest thing I've ever seen was somebody actually edited the newer poster, now with 100% less Matthew Broderick.
Oh my god.
And I was like, fuck, that makes it watchable right now.
Matthew Broderick was not the worst part of that film.
No.
The worst part of that film was changing the look of Godzilla and then making Godzilla a mama by having little Godzilla babies running around. That was ridiculous.
I actually used to have
You
the
know what?
very
I really
last
liked
issue of the comic.
The Jurassic Park that came out with not long ago.
Yes.
and they're
That was a
supposed to
good one.
continue that.
Jurassic,
I
was
was
it
impressed
Jurassic
with that one.
World?
Jurassic
Jurassic
World,
World.
they're supposed to continue that.
That
Lily
was
saw it, I
I
didn't.
really liked that one. I thought I was going to be mad, and I was impressed.
Yeah, I
Anna
thoroughly
was
enjoyed that
impressed with
film.
one because she's a huge Jurassic Park
Yeah.
fan, and
Jeff Goldblum.
he needs to come back.
He needs to be in everything.
Yeah.
Including my living
And that's
room.
one of those guys
Oh my
we had a
God.
crush on back in the 90s, so it doesn't go away.
Did you watch
can
Life
get
Aquatic?
old. Doesn't
Yes,
matter.
I own it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Like, seriously, there's probably a handful of actors that I thought I was the only one that I liked. Like, the guy that played... I first saw him in the Santa Claus movies way back in the day. He plays the head elf.
Oh, Bernard.
Okay.
Bernard,
Yeah,
the one with the
Bernard.
nose. He
How
was
do
in
you know his name?
He was in Numbers later.
Yes. Yes, he
I
was.
think he's so yummy. I think I'm the
He's
only
got
one
a
on
thing
that
for
one.
Jewish guys.
I do. I love the little. Oh, God,
Now,
yes.
I want everybody
Yes.
to take a second and realize that the Santa's head elf is
Yes.
Jewish.
Yeah.
I want y'all to take that in for a second.
that would explain the apprehensive attitude and
The surliness.
yeah, that'll probably
I
explain it.
enjoy
He's
it.
like, I don't know why I'm working for you. I guess it's better than worshiping Jesus.
Right.
I don't want to acknowledge
He had
that,
two
so I'll just
job
acknowledge
offers.
Christmas. We'll do that.
Patty with the Hitler stash is into the Jews.
I love it. Oh my God, yes. I have a friend that always teases on Facebook that I came to Texas and realized I was a Jew.
Yes, Kendall.
Like-
He was in 10 Things I Hate About You. He was the
Yes!
head of, like, well, not even
Oh
the
yeah,
head.
it's the
He
guy
was,
that got the penis drawn on his
Yeah.
forehead. I have a penis
While
on my
he's
forehead,
talking.
don't I?
I love him. I love him so much.
he wasn't even passed out, man. He was sitting there talking to the guy and let the guy do it.
Yeah, I have some weird taste.
You
I
got a
can't
hold of
help
the
it.
slow-mo.
Yes. Oh my God. So yeah. I think every episode I reveal something absolutely bizarre about myself.
It happened.
I really do. I feel like this has been a trend for a while now.
Well,
Goodbye to Spreaker. We got 1 minute.
Bye, Spreaker.
well, if you guys
can't
can
see us
hear
wave.
us
No
and
one
can't
waves,
see
I'm
us, you're about to not hear us at all. So
Somebody
you
usually
know,
waves.
check us out on YouTube if you want to
Yeah.
continue watching, and check us out the rest of the week. We'll have plenty of other content going out there.
Social media,
Yes, hit us
all
up
over.
hit us up on the social.
I'll give the
media.
real spiel at the end of YouTube, so
Yeah,
I'm not doing it twice.
I was just throwing that out there. I mean, we're gonna leave you guys behind in like what, 30 seconds, something. I don't
40
know.
seconds.
Okay,
48,
there-
47.
Right.
Bye.
Bye.
I'm waving at the microphone. Bye bye.
There it is.
Oh my God.
Just fucking cut it. You don't need them anyway.
That's fucked up.
That is fun.
Sorry, they didn't hear me, I think, right?
They totally heard you because we're still live. Oh, Tanya.
Oh my god. Send your hate mail to Van and Tanya.
At thenerdery.net.
You can't see her, but she's right over there.
You know, so far I'm a little disappointed. I have not gotten any hate mail from anything I've ever said.
I haven't either.
Except for that one time I said that one thing, but that wasn't hate mail. That was through the grapevine, I heard.
She heard it through the
There's
grapevine.
that one thing with the thing.
Yeah,
Other
I'm
than
not
that
going to
thing.
get into it because it's unnecessary and it's over and everything's fine.
You don't
but
want to get more hate mail.
no, everything's fine, but you know, I do sometimes say asshole things. It happens.
Let's not linger. Let's continue talking
Don't need
about
another
our.
Google review.
Right? I did get a bad one on there too once. Not from here though. So
Sometimes I just Google places I've worked or places I know people that work
Yeah.
and just look at the Google reviews just to laugh. One of Jimmy and I's coworkers is actually specifically named in a bad Google
Nice.
review.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I love that review so much. It is so hilarious.
You weren't there to meet the guys who gave him the review. I was. Those guys were
No, I
totally
actually
unreasonable.
had met them. I think
Oh,
a
you had?
couple nights before I had to pull a double, and I did meet them. Because our coworker specifically told me, "Oh, you remember those guys who did this and they wanted that?" And yeah, it was them.
oh.
I mean, technically, I guess you can
Alright.
leave a Google review about the nerdery, can you? Is that
I don't know.
an option?
I really don't know.
You might be able to. You have a Google page.
I don't know. I don't know. how that
If
works.
so, tell us how we're doing.
Right?
You know?
Only if
Really?
it's good. If it's bad, email us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if it's hate mail, go straight to email.
Yeah, that way we can, we can give you a response,
Yeah.
and then you can go Google.
I can either say I'm sorry or eat a dick.
Yeah, they're not gonna.
You
let
can
us
go one
delete
of two
those.
ways.
Yeah, if we say eat a dick in our email back to you, then you can leave a bad Google review.
Yeah. Hey, that's not good. Because what if
All
I
right,
have to
all
do
right,
that?
all right. We're getting off topic here. Nobody wants to talk about reboots anymore.
I know, because I'm depressed about it.
why am I
I'm
bringing
over
it up?
them. They're
Nobody wants to talk
terrible.
about it.
Continue on with
They're
something
not all
else.
terrible. Jurassic Park. What are the other good ones? There's gotta be
Tell
other
us
good
the
ones out
Crypt's
there.
being rebooted.
Yes.
Okay, that I'm
That one.
kind
I
of
think
curious
we discussed
about.
that.
Last week.
But that
Yeah.
to me, because it's
We-
going
I
to be
don't know
new
if they
stories,
hear
is
it.
kind of
Do they
different.
hear you when you talk?
Yeah, they can have
Okay.
I wouldn't see it as a reboot. I'd see it as more of a continuation.
Yeah, exactly. And that I'm not as upset about. When it's a reboot or a remake, I'm pissed. But a continuation,
Okay.
I can get down with.
And that's right up our alley because that was based on comic books.
Mm-hmm.
Eli Roth is doing it.
And I like him.
So what's the actual definition of a reboot then?
It's
Starting
retold.
over.
Series, a complete restart
Isn't
of the
that like
series.
a remake though?
No, a remake is like a direct copy.
Yeah, just bringing
a
it up to
reboot
date.
is changing things.
Okay.
So yeah,
We're gonna switch some things around and try and make this story better.
yeah.
Prison Break is getting revived.
The show.
It's already, yeah. They've just put out a 5th season,
Oh my god.
and I guess they're going on ahead with it.
It messed me up. Those both guys are also in a. I think it's a Marvel show.
No, they're in DC shows.
Okay,
They
DC
both
show.
play Flash villains.
Yes.
There you
The
go.
The exact, actually polar opposites of each other.
Yeah, Heatwave and
Yeah,
Captain
yeah, that
Cold.
one. Yeah,
And they are both on the Legends of Tomorrow TV series.
yeah. There
Yes.
Which Dominic Purcell as Heatwave is that is my favorite character from that series. I love the way he, I love the way he banters about stuff. It's great.
And he openly hates everybody.
Yeah. No, well, he loves ninjas. He hates Nazis, but he loves burning Nazis.
you go.
Yes.
Well, that's rational.
I'm down with this guy.
Me too, right?
You got any Firefly fans?
I don't know that there's anybody
Now
that
I've
loves
heard talks
Firefly
about
that's
it,
not a fan.
and
Fox.
Fox said that they'd be willing to do it if
Fox.
Joss Whedon's on board.
Which Joss Whedon has spoken out several times saying he doesn't wish to.
See,
Way
'cause
to
it-
lose popularity points, Joss.
well,
Right.
that was
Because
something.
nobody else is gonna watch it unless you do it.
Now, I will say this. I don't mean to interrupt you, Jimmy, but I will say this. When that announcement came out, when he said that, he was running Marvel Entertainment at the time,
Yeah,
which he isn't anymore.
right. He stepped away from doing it,
So
and
maybe his schedule has freed up.
maybe.
Maybe he's scared of
I
touching
think
it.
that he would be enticed to come back because that was originally his idea. I mean,
Yeah.
that was something that he came up with.
That was his baby.
And it was all based on the idea of Han Solo and Chewbacca. It was like this.
Okay.
He liked the idea of a space western.
He doesn't like the idea of revisiting classics.
See that I was thinking that maybe he's scared to touch it and then have people not be happy with it and then ruin Firefly. Like it's better to leave it
the way it
everything
was.
untarnished.
This is it came out of his mouth on an interview on March 13th this year with a Hollywood Reporter.
So that wasn't that long ago.
All right, for all you people who like to watch the white people novellas or soap operas.
White people novellas?
Yeah.
You mean the soap
You
operas?
just said
That's what I said.
Soap operas.
Anyway.
Dynasty is getting
Really?
revived. Yeah.
Revived.
Yes.
Dallas
or not
came
revived. It is full reboot.
Huh. Dallas
There you
came
go.
back
So
a
revived
handful
would
of
be the
years
term
ago.
for it.
That was actually really good. That was before Larry Hagman died. I really liked that show. I went back and I actually watched almost all the old Dallas ones too before that, and it was really good.
Let's see.
I didn't want to like it.
Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Eh,
Will and Grace.
I like that show.
I heard that was coming back actually.
Oh, I love that
I thought
one.
about watching that.
Queer Eye for the Straight Guy.
Oh, I love that show.
That was a good show.
It was so
I forgot
cute.
about that one.
Wait a minute.
Uh-oh.
I got a good one.
Oh, boy.
You're going to love this, and you're going to love this too. DuckTales. Coming back to Disney XD.
Wow.
Wow.
It's not it. That's a different segment,
Can't
but yeah,
say the word without the song getting stuck in my head.
Right.
it immediately popped in mind.
Yeah, it's in my head now.
Let's see.
Everybody, get ready to dive into your money bin. Hmm?
That one's already out.
Yeah.
I forgot all about that too.
The Magic School Bus rides again.
Oh, my gosh. I was never into that show.
I'm okay with
But
that.
here's my thing: is all those kids grew up and became Planeteers. So what kids are they going to have now?
New kids.
They're kids. They're children.
There you go.
They're all going to have a green tint
Is
to
Miss
them now.
Frizzle gonna have like gray hair now? And
Is Miss Frizzle even
Still
going to
be
be
around?
the teacher?
she has to be the teacher. Without Miss Frizzle, it would have been stupid.
I think I was too old for that show. I think when that came out, I
I
was
will
way
still
above
watch
it.
that show and enjoy it. There's few cartoons I will.
Yeah.
The
There's some
18.
years gap there.
The
so-
18?
Like our youngest likes it.
Yeah.
And I'll watch it with her and I don't mind it.
Now,
The 18 already
are
came
we talking
out.
about a TV show or are we talking about a
TV show,
movie?
but it's no longer in development.
Oh, okay.
Oh. Don't get my hopes up like that, Derek. God.
I'm
The
gonna
movie
read
was
for-
good. The
Yeah.
movie was fucking good. God.
Raven's Home.
I don't know what
I
that
don't know
is.
what that is.
Oh,
Raven
wait.
Simone. That's so Raven.
That's so Raven.
She's getting a continuance.
I was too
Definitely
old for that.
too
too.
old.
Bewitched.
Bewitched. Very nice. Very nice.
Well, they just came out with a
That's too
movie
classic.
a bunch
That's
of while
super
ago.
classic.
A
but-
bunch of whiles ago.
bunch of whiles ago. Not just a few whiles, a bunch of whiles.
That was a
Whiles.
lot of whiles ago.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to do Kids Do the Darndest Things for quite some... Say the darndest thing for quite some time.
Yeah.
Due to their all the controversy surrounding the last host. I don't see that one coming
Oh,
Is
yeah.
the host on it? Did they do the darndest
back. Grab her
thing?
by the pudding.
Oh, God.
The Munsters.
Oh, I
now,
don't know.
I think about
Seth Meyers.
4 or 5 years ago, they tried that, and it was called it was the address of their home. It was
Really?
1212 for 1313 Mockingbird Lane.
1313 makes sense
Yeah,
for that.
1313 Mockingbird Lane.
I never
and
saw
they had
that.
Jerry O'Connell playing Herman Munster.
Oh.
No, but get this, and this was great. Eddie Izzard as Grandpa Munster.
Oh,
I'm okay with that.
The
I
pilot,
love Eddie
the pilot
Izzard.
hit the air, and it was really cool, but it was darker than the original
And
show.
I was just
cool,
thinking, I
too.
don't know that
I would recommend seeing it if you're a big
Yeah, I'm
Eddie
gonna have to
Izzard
look
fan.
that up.
Yeah.
I love Eddie Izzard.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
They're bringing back King of the Hill.
Ew.
They're bringing it back.
Ugh.
Redoing it. Starting new episodes.
Ugh.
I thoroughly enjoyed the Beavis and Butthead reboot. I thought that was absolutely hilarious.
I heard a lot of
it
bad
was like
things,
a
so I didn't watch
continuation,
it.
and
Yeah.
it was great because they were still doing the same thing they were before, which is sitting there watching MTV.
Yeah.
And it was MTV as it was at that point. So you had like 16 and Pregnant.
Oh
you had-
God.
You had them
Maybe
watching
I do need to go back and watch
Jersey
that.
Shore, and it was great because them sitting there watching these shows made them look like geniuses. Especially Jersey Shore. It made.
Oh
I mean,
my
they were
God.
sitting there making fun of them,
That's awesome.
and it was totally
And they didn't
legitimate.
look like the idiots.
The only
No, they
problem
didn't.
is,
They didn't look like idiots until you actually were following them in their daily life. Then they look like
Yeah.
complete and total morons.
Well, they have to.
but if I go try to find that now, if I did find it on DVD or something, they're gonna probably take out all that stuff, just like they did with the music videos.
No,
You don't think so?
I don't think so. As long as it's an MTV property, I don't think they'll
Maybe.
take it out. The music videos were taken out because of royalties.
Yeah.
And that was the same thing with Daria. When
Oh,
Daria got released
yeah.
on DVD, they had to take a lot of the music out because when
I actually have that one. I
yeah,
love that show.
when it came out on TV, the songs they were using
Mm-hmm.
were relatively cheap, and people didn't know them that well. And now,
Due to the show.
due to the show and the popularity of the songs over time, they became more expensive. So they would have. It's the same thing with Married with Children. When
Yeah.
they released it on DVD, you couldn't. You didn't have the original opening,
Frank
the Frank
Sinatra.
Sinatra opening, because it was so damn expensive just because of the popularity of the show and the song. So they had to actually put on this really fucked up version of it,
Oh.
and it just never sat well with me.
It's very aggravating.
They did screw up though. There was an episode where him and Steve took the kids, this Boy Scout troop, out on a camping trip, and the end of the episode they forgot. They
Yeah.
missed it. So
Yeah.
or either that or they were only allowed to play it once. I don't know.
Coach almost got rebooted.
Coach?
Or not rebooted, but a continuance. But it got the axe.
It's in production right now. You got Sin City, a new TV series.
Oh, interesting.
Sin City?
Sin City, the comic, yeah.
That would make a
Really?
good TV show, actually.
I
Yeah.
think
I
it
think
would.
that would be better for TV than movie.
Yeah, considering how it was originally written
Yeah, it's just
and
clips.
portrayed.
It's episodic.
It's short
Yeah.
stories.
There's connected. There are part. Yeah, the
Yeah.
stories are connected in a way, but they are episodic.
Yeah, so to make an episode of each little,
Yeah.
I think.
and you can have a few stories going on in each episode.
The first movie was amazing, but the amazingness of it was the fact that they had grabbed up the best stories out of the series.
Yes.
And the second one was okay.
I didn't see the second
It
one.
was
I don't
okay.
remember the second.
Who played Cyclops' brother?
Havoc
Havoc.
in X-Men.
Lucas Till.
Okay. Okay.
He's playing MacGyver.
That came out. I could have sworn that came out a couple years ago.
Now this is updated this month.
Maybe it just hasn't released yet. I remember hearing about that and
CBS
seeing
is
him
doing
and
The original
everything.
episodes are on Netflix right now.
No, I'm talking about the remake though. Because I remember seeing him in costume and everything, like pictures of it. Maybe I just assumed
I
it
can
came out.
see him in that role.
I used to watch that show a lot when I was a kid.
He'd be like Shmuel. Make Central Air with a nickel and a
Bringing The
feather.
Departed to a TV series.
What?
The Departed,
The Departed?
the old movie that came out I think 5-6 years ago
Yeah.
about the Irish bank robbers in Boston. They're doing a TV series now. Voltron.
What? Voltron or Ultron?
Netflix animated version of Voltron.
Yeah.
Well,
that's
it's been going.
Okay.
They've got, like I said, season 3 is out.
It is.
Yes. At least I saw it advertised on the tile, so that's something to check out. I've got some Voltron news for you once we wrap.
Rap.
Yeah.
I like me some Voltron.
I don't know, but
2018, you got X-Files.
oh,
They just
Yes.
came out with new ones recently.
Is this going to be a continuation?
Well, they did a
because it wasn't a reboot. It was a continuation,
Yes.
and it was only 6 episodes.
Okay.
So they
Testing
all
it out,
had
maybe?
kind of an underlying story. I think 3 of the episodes were kind of just in betweens, and then 3 of the episodes were like this main underlying story behind the whole thing. But it left off at a cliffhanger, a big cliffhanger, and I was wondering if they were going to get back to that.
did we watch those?
No.
Why not? Because you hadn't
Magic
seen the
School
original.
Bus 360.
You went back to watch.
Magic. Wait.
No, Magic School Bus Rides Again is the title that I came up with.
Okay, I got 360 on Netflix.
Oh, that's probably going to be the
It's
cartoon.
like the Magic School Bus
It's a cartoon,
does
yeah.
drifting.
No,
Right?
it's probably going to be like a
Meets
3D.
Tokyo Drift.
60.
I don't know.
Magic School Bus Tokyo Drift.
We've covered a lot of ground.
We have.
A lot.
Kids screaming in the bus. see
now
Miss Frizzle
9:30.
going drifting in a school bus full of kids.
Oh my
I
god,
can
yeah.
totally see it.
So is it about that time?
It is about that time.
Alright.
Our producer is giving us the head nod. Let's
We have other stuff
do what
to
we got to
finish.
do.
Alright, you ready here? We have our sponsors. We are sponsored by Captain Jack's Elixirs at www.captainjackselixirs.com. Also, All Star Comics, Baytown, Texas, 281-839-7127. And if you enjoy watching us, please like all of our videos. Please subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out. Also, follow us on Facebook for weekly updates and our little recorded review videos and fun stuff like that. Also, we're on Instagram for all sorts of your instant gratification needs with your photos, and also Twitter.
And don't forget to check out the website.
Yes.
www.thenerdery.net.
That's right.
We're not going to cover all of their instant gratification needs. I just
Okay,
wanted to
not all of them, but
You know, you gotta disappoint Patty. I mean, that's terrible.
yes.
You know, people will really, unless that's what you wanted, for them to like run with it.
Yeah, just go and watch our thing in hopes.
See if you're gratified after watching.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know. I watched a lot of our videos last week, and I was gratified. It
See?
was cool.
See?
I was like, wow, this is really good.
What'd you say? Wow.
That cracks me up. So, final thoughts? You got any?
Yeah, I'll give pretty much anything a shot at least once.
Your final thoughts?
50-50 on the remake.
Okay.
50-50.
My final thoughts. Stop! Stop it! Okay, yeah.
With the remakes.
With the remakes and stuff.
With
Give
the
me new
exception of
shit.
Jurassic World.
Don't stop
Keep
watching.
working on those.
I
Don't stop listening.
Yeah, but not us. Yeah, still watch us.
Yes.
Yeah, because
Please.
we'll never be a reboot.
No.
No.
We're continuation.
Yes.
We might become astonishing, the spectacular,
Yeah.
uncanny.
Yeah.
The amazing.
Blue or gold?
There
Blue
you
or
go.
gold.
You can start going through colors.
But never all new, all different.
No.
No, not really.
We'll never go that far.
No. Okay.
All new, all different.
Not really. Slightly revamped. Okay, you ready?
What about evolution?
No, there you go.
Yeah, I can see that.
That
I
wasn't
think
bad.
we've evolved.
I think
A
so
little
The
too.
beginning of the nerdery, for
little
sure.
bit.
Yeah.
We started out as
From a-
just a
from a phone sitting in the middle of the
Spreaker
table?
podcast. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I remember when we used to do it in the garage, and we would start with the garage door open, but it would get too hot, so we would open the garage door,
And then it'd be too loud.
and then your
Yeah.
cars driving by. Thankfully, those episodes aren't available anymore, so you can't hear that. I think that was our first 3.
Yeah. No, we did our first one in here.
First one was in here. I think the second, third, and fourth were out
in the
there.
garage. Yeah.
It was hot.
Yeah.
I don't miss those days.
All right. Good night.
Bye.